this is Sarah, Painting Creator. Welcome back to part 2 of our wave. It's really important that the painting is dry before you try and go on top of it with any pastels. I don't have a set of very nice pastels, so I just have a few that I've picked up, and so I literally go through them, choose what pastels I want, and then put them on sort of out as a set ready to use. I have absolutely no training in pastels at all, so potentially you might be able to train me, but you never know. So I'm just going to get a little bit of soft pastel working in here. I like the mixture of the colours. Sorry, I do apologise for the fan sound, but it's boiling hot and I just want a bit of a breeze, so I use my fingers a lot with my pastels. I like rubbing them in, and this is all you're going to do, is you're going to work some tones in and building up the detail. If I had some pastel pencils, they might be really helpful as well for working on top of the pastels, but I don't, so you have to work with what you've got. And you can work with your pan pastels over the top, and you can then put another layer of watercolour. There's, you know, you're not restricted to just a couple of layers of pastels. And I like to try and keep some of the watercolour sort of feel as well, because it's what makes it nice to me. But if you don't, that's fine as well. So I'm just going to go, whoops daisy, I've got this sort of creamy yellow colour that I'm going to start just building a little bit of an undercolour where the sun perhaps is catching some of the wave colours. And I'm just reminding myself that it's not a photograph, so I can relax and just let the colours do what I want them to do. I do want a little bit of purple, I think, down here as I look at my paint and my photograph. I see different colours into it. I'm going to put a bit of purple over here as well. There's a bit of a base colour. A bit of a so this sort of front edge here is a grey that I'm using. So I just take my time and just build a little bit of information as I sort of go along. There's quite a lot of yellowy white around here. I'm just going to try and get that sort of sense of it's all underpainting. It's all just adding to the information on it. I'm going to just put some of this grey because that will join in with that. And if you get a piece and you're like, I didn't really mean to do that, because I didn't, you can use your putty rubber just to lift it up. Really useful for just getting back to some of those darks and getting that dark edge back in. So I'm just going to run a little bit of that grey. So this is like a harder white. It's just going over the top. I'm just going to put a darker, a brighter sort of white in that corner. There's a roll. Starting to see how that builds up. And the texture of the paper just helps. And rubbing it in, I find, just dulls it down a little bit. That's better. So, I need and then this one's a really soft Unison pastel. I find it really quite useful for putting that whiter highlight on. And then you're just working and just putting on a directional work. building up. So I think you've got the idea. I'm just building a bit of variation with the theme. I'm quite sure, those of you that work with pastels, that you've got much better things to do this with than I have. But I do think it's quite a nice, satisfying point to do. So there we have it. I might fiddle a bit more, I might not, but using what I've got to do a bit of a mixed media wave. So hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Keep playing.